What if I told you that I could give you the 3 keys to unlock the gates to all of life's successes? Would you listen? Patience, tenacity, and balance are all values instilled in me by my father, which can help us all achieve our goals, whether they be professionally, romantically, physically, emotionally, the list goes on. Now, what's great about focusing on these 3 values is that they're all intertwined with one another. So if you can master one, then you can master all 3. Now, some might disagree or even have their own methods to prosperity, but I can assure you that approaching the game of life with these characteristics in your arsenal will lead to success in every form of the word. From the famous phrases of DJ Khaled, patience, tenacity, and balance are all major keys. Now, I'll begin with my favorite value, which is patience, but in simpler terms can be described as calm decision making. All good things come with time, and it's extremely important to keep that in mind when thinking about patience. By instilling patience into our core, we'll see the world in a different light and have a new sense of self-control. In our day and age, we've become incredibly spoiled in the sense that we expect instant gratification all of the time. And when we don't receive what we're looking for, we get frustrated with the world. Frustration leads to stress, stress leads to panic, and panic leads to bad decision making. Patience allows us to step back, clear our thoughts, and really observe and listen to what's going on in the world outside of our own wants and needs. It also allows us to make calculated and decisive decisions in critical moments. The cheetah is the fastest land animal in the world, and yet, if it isn't patient, it might miss its only opportunity to make a successful kill, which can be the difference between life and death. By ignoring the sounds of a growling stomach and also the arrogance of knowing its own speed, the cheetah patiently stalks its prey, creeping closer and closer until it's finally the right moment to release all that bundled up energy and strike. Like the great Greek philosopher Aristotle once said, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. Now, being calm and patient is good. It's great. But we have to keep in mind not to allow that to turn into laziness or complacency. My father is the man behind most of my wisdom, believe it or not, and one of his favorite things to tell me as a cross-country runner growing up was to dig and keep digging. Whenever I felt like I'd given it my all or there was nothing left in the tank to make me run harder, he'd tell me to dig deep within my guts and my soul, and when I thought I couldn't dig more, he'd tell me to keep on digging, that you can always dig deeper and find that little extra boost to push on. That's tenacity. Tenacity is the drive, the fire, the commitment, the never-ending energy that fuels us to achieve and overcome everything that we've set out to accomplish. Almost all successful people in the world share this trait because they wouldn't be at the top of their game if they weren't the ones working the hardest at their craft. Now, it's easy to get down on ourselves and think about quitting when we've been hit with rejection or failure of one after the other. But tenacity is what lets us pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, dust ourselves off, and get back on the horse that just bucked us off. But I understand it can be hard to stay motivated all of the time, and we shouldn't expect people to be motivated about everything all of the time. That'd be unreasonable. What we can do, though, is find what we are passionate about and be tenacious at becoming the best at whatever that is. Chinese-American author and business consultant Ching-Ning Chu states, "To succeed in life in today's world, you must have the will and tenacity to finish the job." Now, this last value, and arguably the most important, is where we'll see the link between the 3 and how they all tie back together. The thing my father pestered me about the most growing up was finding balance in life. "There's a time and place for everything, son. You have to know when it's time to work and when it's time to play." As I'd argue with him about hanging out with friends or playing Xbox. But I see now how crucial balance is to understand, because it's the easiest to get sloppy with. Too much of a good thing can be bad, right? Everything in life has balance, but it's important to realize that not everyone's scale measures the same way. There's the balance of life and death, good and evil, dusk and dawn. You can't have one without the other. Balance also allows us to measure the different amounts of tenacity and patience we should apply in order to achieve our goals. Be too patient and you might get lazy and miss your chance. Be too tenacious and you might skip over detail. American actress and humanitarian Angelina Jolie realizes that, quote, nature is about balance. All the world comes in pairs. Yin and yang, right and wrong, men and women, what's pleasure without pain, end quote. So find the balance in your life and your sacrifices will be rewarded with harmony. Each of these three values are crucial to anyone who desires to be successful in any aspect of their life. Patience is what gives us better understanding and better preparation, while tenacity is the fire that we light under our butts to get us in gear and go for gold. And lastly, balance is not what makes our worlds perfect, but what makes our worlds harmonious. Each of these three values can be mastered once even just one has been embedded into our daily lives. So I urge us all to continue to work on perfecting these three values, and I guarantee you if you do, success will attend our efforts.